heard you that time.
I do my best. Zach, did you hear me?
Yes.
Beautiful. Love to see it. Love to hear it. Love to see it. How we all doing? It is the first Wednesday of 2022.
Oh yeah.
Ah!
Happy New Year.
It's the first It Is Wednesday, my dudes. Ah!
Even though this will be the second week, technically, of the New Year.
Oh yeah.
When we release it. But still,
That's on me.
it's the first time we've gathered since the New Year.
The first time we've gathered on a Wednesday since the New Year. How's everyone's 2022 going so far?
Fine.
Fine.
I gotta say, I'm doing pretty good.
I still don't have heat.
I thought your power was back on.
The power is back on, but apparently the heat is not connected to the power. It's connected to the furnace. So it is about 52 degrees in here right now.
Oh, that
Oh
sucks.
no.
Oh, yeah.
You can
It makes
record in
getting
a
out of bed
blanket.
very hard
You can
because
record in a
I'm
blanket if you want.
oh, I am like got my Boston Red Sox.
If only you could do the sleeping bag thing that I always do.
If you don't have one, you should get one of those heated throw blankets, like the electric ones.
I
I
would
keep.
literally never get out of bed.
Oh my god, I have one on my bed, and I have a throw blanket too, like for the couch. And basically, I put it on the couch around October, November, and then it doesn't leave the couch until spring. It's
That
on
does
there right
sound
now.
That sounds very
really,
nice.
really nice.
It's really hard to get out of bed right now because I get all curled up under all these blankets, and then I'm like, the winter awaits.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I would simply hibernate.
Oh, and also showering is the worst.
Oh, wait, do you have hot water?
Well, I have
Does it get
not
wet?
cold water, but it's more just like, yeah, getting wet and
Okay.
being very cold.
That sounds
Yeah,
very
definitely.
unpleasant. I'm very sorry. That doesn't sound fun.
I mean,
See,
people here have it a lot worse. People have been stuck like in traffic like overnight. The Amtrak trains going through Virginia have like shut down. Like people haven't eaten in 20 hours and the bathrooms are all stopped up. It's awful. Like our state literally just fell
Yeah, I
apart.
was gonna say, it is terrible that people are experiencing this, but for perspective, Zach, how many inches of snow are on the ground?
Oh, like when it all hit all together, 6? This is a warm up in New York. Literally,
6 inches of snow.
the New the New York State power grid is like, I will grow under any conditions, and then the Virginia power grid is like, I'm allergic to tap water.
Again, it's terrible that like people are like experiencing all the problems
Yes,
that this causes, but you would
yeah.
think that a state that knows there is a possibility of receiving the occasional 6 inches of snow might have a plan in place.
I think other places in the state got hit worse. Um, like we got snow for sure, but actually no, we got hit pretty bad because the snow on top of my car was hefty. Yeah, I would say we got maybe between 6 and 8 inches.
Like I
Probably
can
eight.
understand
I
why
don't know.
like on the occasional like freak storm where they actually get even like the slightest dusting in like the Florida Panhandle or whatever. That I can understand people freaking out there because that literally never happens. But I feel like
We're not that far south.
yeah, Virginia's one of those states where I feel like you probably deal with snow once or twice a year. So
It
maybe
it
prepare
it
for
really
it.
doesn't snow here that much, but it snows enough that like we have plows.
Yeah, so like
Like we were able to plow the streets like when Texas got hit and they were like
help.
like yeah. No, like we have the equipment, we know what to do. It just doesn't happen that often. Or so I'm told. I haven't really been down here.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think the snow's supposed to hit us on Friday.
It just took so little to decimate our power grid. Like
It is a little sad
it is a little sad, yeah.
coming from native New York State folks.
This is one of the times where I'm like, yes, I am from New York and this is nothing to me. and I will dig out my snow with the snow brush that I keep in my car at all times.
Oh my god, I remember when I was still in college, my boyfriend at the time was texting me because, like, it was another one of those instances where Virginia had gotten, like, 3 inches of snow and everyone was freaking out, and, like, even, like, the military was not going into work. And I'm like, I just walked through a foot of snow for class today.
Yep.
You little wimps.
When I moved to Columbus, Ohio for grad school, the day after I moved in on a Saturday. On the Sunday, there was a major
I
windstorm.
know the story.
Yeah, like really extreme. Like I still come across articles about it on occasion. There was a giant pine tree outside of my door that actually got uprooted and fell over. But the power got knocked out, and it was out for 6 days and 3 hours. And I did not have hot water, which was why I was thinking about that. Uh, that I showered in ice water for a week,
I
which
did
was
that. I did that
wonderful.
yesterday.
Still,
Not fun.
at least when it happened to me, it was mid-September, so it wasn't as bad. But still, like I was in this brand new city and I didn't know anybody or where anything was, and I had to shower for a week. And I had just stocked my fridge with like $100 worth of food from the grocery store. Ended up having to throw it all away.
Oh no.
Yeah, because I just moved in, so I didn't have
Yeah.
food. So I just bought a bunch of food and
I
threw it
don't
all
think
away.
I ever heard that exact detail.
Oh, it was
Oh
real
no.
depressing. And then
I was.
I
No, no, you're
tried
gonna say go ahead.
stuff to eat that didn't require cooking or refrigeration. I was eating a lot of peanut butter sandwiches, and
Oh.
I got this box of like little Ritz Bits crackers, uh, and I was like, I'll just eat this as a snack, and then it got full of ants. I reached my hand in and brought out a few.
Ew.
They were covered
No.
in ants, and I lost it. That
Bad.
was a bad week.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
So here's
Yeah.
the weird thing about Virginia. Our like the building clearly lost power. Like I went out into the hallway, and the lights were out, but my apartment only lost part of its power, which I had never seen before. Like my living room and like half my kitchen had power. My dining room where my Wi-Fi is connected and my bedroom did not have power. So my like microwave worked, but my fridge and freezer didn't. I didn't have internet, but like it was also one of those things where I had just gone grocery shopping as well. Except I only eat plants. So like it just kind of refroze when the power came back on and we're all good.
Well, that's a slightly better outcome than
Yeah.
your
No,
other
I
story.
all things considered, I'm in a very fortunate
Yeah.
position compared to a lot of other people right now.
That's good. We love to hear it.
Got to go to Cancun, do the real American thing.
No,
America first
yeah.
Fuck you, Ted
from over here.
Cruz.
You're just gonna go to drop people off, and you're coming right back.
My God, that man has never made a mistake in his whole life because everything is always somebody else's fault. Cancun, it was his daughter's. When he retweeted porn, it was his communication staff. Like he's never done any of
Yeah.
this.
Again, I think
It's
every day about the poor staffer that had to take the fall for that and probably got fired.
yeah, like it's just a
Ridiculous.
shame he surrounds himself with such bad people. He should think about his circles more.
Mm-hmm.
Wink wonk. Okay. So our first question today I came across on Twitter, and I really love, and of course, tweet will be linked below. I really love the preface to the question in the tweet, which is please answer this question that's like threatening to tear my household apart. Do cats have lips?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I
Because
feel those little lips all the time, and they rub their little
Mhm.
faces on me.
Yeah.
it,
Mm,
I'm
You know?
trying to think in my mind of like what defines a
a
lip.
lip.
I mean, I don't think. a lip doesn't have to be like as big as like human lips are, you know? Like there's like this is technically called the lip of a cup,
This is true.
you know? So I wish I had a cat nearby for visual aid, but
I mean, you
I
could
don't know
definitely
where.
go get one.
Well, Nyx wouldn't be helpful because everything just blends and she sucks matter into her void. But Luna
Oh,
maybe.
You could go grab Luna.
I saw the guy who did my arm and just like my tattoos. He posted on his um Instagram video. He's bringing his cat into the shop today, and it's
Oh,
just like a video of him and his cat just straight vibing.
cat with job. Beautiful.
Hmm.
I mean, you're
I mean,
probably right about the like, yes, they do, but saying the phrase out loud, cats have lips, sounds so wrong to me in a way that I
I know.
can't quite articulate.
I mean, I know dogs have lips. Like I know Echo has lips, but they're just like under like the fur. But like if you like lift it up as you do sometimes to check their teeth or whatnot, like that's definitely 100% a lip.
I like that you even put in a reason, like, to check their teeth. Like, I'm not here just bothering my dog.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I definitely bother her. I'm just like, hello.
Yeah, I'm
But,
just be like, look at your, like, not even in like,
yeah.
oh, I make sure you didn't like get anything in there. I'm like, look at your little teeths.
Well, but also every time I've ever had to pry anything out of her mouth, like you gotta really get in there.
And now I like actually, hold on, I'm gonna open up this question on my on Twitter on my phone because I want to know like what people said to this, and I want to know like just the fact that it's phrased as answer this question that's threatening to tear my house apart. I want to know what people are having to say about this now.
Do snakes have lips?
See,
Harley.
with
I like how you
Ellie,
just made the same face. Like
with
this.
Ellie, I would. This is so weird. With Ellie, I
Sort
would
of.
say yes, but with Harley, I would say no.
He does. If you look like when he opens his mouth, you can actually see like a little rim that's like raised.
Yeah,
Like
maybe
I've
it's just.
stared at it while he takes forever to eat his mouse.
Oh yeah. Okay, people have provided photographic evidence.
Yeah, like with my two current cats, you really can't see them again because Nyx being all black, they just blend. And with Luna, she's too furry. But one of my previous cats, Bella, a brown tabby, it always cracked me up, and I actually said, made fun of her out loud on a regular basis, actually, that her lips were black because it
Interesting.
just like, yeah, it was such a high contrast, and it just cracked me up. Like that can't be the right color for them. Um, and so I would just sometimes start laughing, like, look at your little black lips.
Whoa. Okay.
They're just so
Here's a fun thing in the replies to this "Do cats have lips?" thing. Yes, but here's a fun fact: they can't drink through a straw if they wanted to.
they can or can't.
They would be unable to drink from a straw.
Yeah, wouldn't think they would get a good enough seal.
You can't like, yeah, right, right.
That's like this is absolutely fascinating to me because
And same with dogs.
I just never thought of it. Thank you, Twitter user at Steve Novak PPR.
I know that dogs drink with the underside of their tongue, which is still
Yeah,
crazy.
I always thought
Yeah.
it was like
Yeah,
the
like
top
you just pick
part.
it up, but it's like they scoop it with the under like that's so
And
weird.
I'm like surprised that they're able to accomplish anything that way. Although I mean,
It's
my dog, she does get water in her beard.
oh no, Echo leaves more water on the floor than she gets in her.
Oh my
But
god.
like I know forever I just assumed that was the case until I saw that slow motion video. And
Yeah, and I
then
was
like
like,
I saw it when Echo would drink, which is weird because like I've seen her drink water before, but it took seeing that video to be like, oh,
I think it's always funny
they
when
drink.
dogs like get a mouthful of water and then they'll just like walk away as it like drips and like let it just drip out of their mouth. My dog does not do that, but I knew someone's dog who did, and you could not wear socks in the kitchen. Like you had to be wearing slippers, or it was almost inevitable that you were going to step in a little puddle.
I mean, I don't know if this kind of like ruins the fun, but I do have a specific definition
Sure, why
of
not?
like,
I mean, we have other things to talk about.
yeah. defined as either of the two fleshy parts which form the upper and lower edges of the opening of the mouth.
Yeah, okay.
And technically, I mean, every living thing's gonna have flesh there.
Yeah.
I really hate the word flesh, by the way. It's just weird.
Yeah, no, it's bad. And also, it's bad for, like, multiple reasons, especially after having listened to the Magnus Archives.
Yep. I was thinking about
An entity I would never, ever serve.
I just looked up the definition of fleshy.
Ooh, bad. I don't want to know. Don't tell me.
I want to know.
So first of all, there's a parenthetical of a person or part of the body having a substantial amount of flesh. Plump. So that's really helpful, having a substantial amount of flesh.
And they used to always scream at us in school whenever we would, like, have to write down definitions.
Definition.
Yeah, don't use the word definition. I'm like, ah. And then you go to, like, an actual dictionary.
And it's like road, as defined by road.
Well, and now I looked up the word flesh.
Oh, God, here we go.
The soft substance consisting of muscle and fat that is found between the skin and bones of an animal or a human. So
well, we can really go down a rabbit hole on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's no words in there I feel like I want to Google. So, but I think based on that, if it's that, soft substance, muscle, and fat, cats definitely have that on the openings. As do snakes.
Yeah.
Anything with a mouth has lips, basically, I guess would be the conclusion.
It's always funny to me when Ellie, like, presses her, like, nose up against the glass, because just the way her head is shaped and, like, the way the scales around her mouth are shaped, it looks like it would be, like, armored. But then she, like, presses her face up against the glass and it goes squish. And I'm like, look at you. I'm obsessed with her. I really am. She's wonderful. Okay, well, that did not take as long as I thought it was going to take. But that's okay. We can move on to our next question. I think a lot of these I think the next two questions were provided by you, Brooksy, if you would like to read the next one for our friends.
Yeah, I feel like this is a tricky one in a way. The question being, if you had the option, would you choose to live forever?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Well, that was not as controversial as I expected.
I mean, I am 23 and I have already had enough.
I'm literally gonna, like, I'm at the point in my life where I'm gonna snap my glasses in half because I've seen enough. I'm ready. Let's, like, you know what?
I'm ready to be done perceiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, to quote Miss Coco Peru, garden as though you will live forever. No, I don't want to live that long. And I will link the video that's from because it's wonderful. But yeah, no, if I could choose to live for, like, longer than the average human lifetime, hell yeah, I want to see some. Yeah. I want to see what kind of funky shit goes down in the future. But forever, absolutely not. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's my basic feeling. Forever would be awful. Just watching everybody you love die and getting just tired of everything.
That would be terrible. But again, if I could stick around for a little bit extra, I'd
like
be cool with that.
150, 200 years.
Like sea turtle range.
Yeah.
But like that would be cool.
Where do we get that deal?
Yeah, like if I could witness and have functioning, like, not like be like a small child and not remember anything. If I could witness and have functioning memories of, like, a century and some change, I'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Which actually, this kind of makes me think of a question that I, like, had in my head to write down and then forgot to write down before I actually, like, went and did the action. So here's my thing. And actually, the thing that inspired this was, the passing of the iconic Betty White, RIP.
Sorry, guys. I did not mean to be the one to,
It's okay.
I was like, guys, what? Betty, no!
Literally, I put this in the group chat, but I was on my bike in the basement and I screamed no when I went and confirmed it on the internet. And then 2 seconds later, I get a phone call from my mom because she heard me scream in the basement. She goes, "Did you just find out?" I was like, "Yeah." But she was almost 100. And here's my thing: people who grew up we have regularly heard of people who grew up in an era where like lead paint was a thing and like doctors were recommending cigarettes, and people who like lived through that era have somewhat on the regular lived past 100. So my question is, under the like absolute ideal conditions, how long do you think a human could last?
Doctors believe that the first man to live past 150 has already been born. I believe I am that man.
I know the record
I
is
will.
122.
Yeah.
It
But
no,
again,
it is going to be Chris Traeger. Like hands down, no questions asked.
am I an idiot for not knowing who that is?
No.
Oh,
It's literally
Parks and Rec.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's
Character on Parks and
yeah.
Rec.
I love him so much. Not the actor necessarily, but the character. Oh
Of
my
course.
It
Yeah.
actually took me a second because I assumed you were talking about a real person, and I was like, I know that name. Oh, what? No,
Yeah.
what?
No. No, he runs a fictional city in Indiana.
But no,
Yeah.
like think about it. Like the oldest living person on record, like whenever they were born, like they were definitely like, there was like cancerous shit and everything. And they like lived through that and still made it to 122. So I want to think under the absolute ideal conditions, like, and again, this is probably not like this isn't like achievable. This is like a mind experiment. Like absolute like perfect like environment, diet,
Exercise, yeah.
for their entire life. How long do we think a human person can last?
At least into the 130s.
Yeah.
Like minimally. Could you reach 150? I mean,
That might be pushing
maybe
it.
no, it might be, but the thing is, if you were to have somebody who was born now, right now, you don't have the technology for it. But as they grow up and hit maybe 70, you would start to develop the technology to really um, stretch out how long somebody can live. Because you would also have to incorporate all the new technologies that we're developing as this person is living.
But yeah, and I mean,
Um,
like, again, without getting too into the, like, actual, like, what's theoretically possible, just, like, under, like, absolute perfect environment, diet, exercise, everything. I feel like 150 might be pushing it, but maybe.
I think the problem is though, like, regardless of how well you take care of yourself, once you hit a certain point, things just start falling apart.
This is
You know,
true.
yeah.
stuff starts wearing out. By the time you're like 60s, 70s, your joints start getting bad. You might have some heart or blood pressure issues, and you're just freaking tired, man.
It's
And,
that first visit to the doctor where you're like, this hurts, and they're like, yep.
yeah. And so, I mean, if we're talking about somebody living to 150, that means like half of their life is going to be of that quality. And even if we do develop the technology to, oh, like, oh, your knees are bad, we'll replace your knees. Oh, we got this new medication or whatever. At a certain point, it's kind of like having a car.
Yeah, okay, I
Right?
completely
Yeah.
get that.
Technically, you can fix pretty much anything on a car, right? You can replace like any part on a car, but there reaches a certain point where it's so much time and effort, and is it worth the resources?
Yes, but also, what if you are the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but that's my point.
Yeah, oh no, I don't disagree, and that's why I don't want to live forever, because my first 70 years would be fine, and then the next, infinity would suck.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, but that's exactly the point I'm making is
Mhm.
imagining yourself as that car. And I think after a while, I just wouldn't think it was worth it to be
You're
putting
Yeah.
completely correct. However, I do want to
more effort.
say, as a person, like, I'm not thinking about this, like, I mean, I am thinking about this quote unquote scientifically, but I am no scientist, but I am thinking based on what, you know, my passing understanding of several different branches of science, if like again, in a hypothetical perfect world, everything is perfect, I feel like you will start falling apart a little later.
I mean, it also heavily varies from person to person.
Well, there's always that story of like the 190-year-old who's like running the marathon. There's like shuffling along, but
Yeah,
like
exactly.
yeah,
So like again,
yeah.
like and like those are people who are like, you know, take their like health and wellness very very seriously. So like
Yeah.
essentially that in a controlled sort of experiment environment, like I feel like that's the person you would end up with, if
I'm wondering
not
if
even
maybe
better.
like a Truman Show style
Yeah.
like community, like you get to customize everything.
Interesting. But yeah, no, I
Not that
feel
I'm
like you could
suggesting we.
definitely like under absolute ideal conditions, you definitely start falling apart later, and I think you could definitely last like 125 minimum.
Yeah, I just don't know if it'd be worth it.
Would it be worth it? I don't know. Could it happen under the absolute perfect conditions? I'm gonna say, as not a scientist, I'm gonna say yeah.
I mean, yes, but also it doesn't even have to be perfect conditions. There's all these stories of people who like, you know, ate red meat every single day of their lives, never even saw a vegetable,
Yeah, and
never
exact
exercised.
and literally
That's
that's why I
my
think
family.
under like the like, you know,
Well, through accident.
if everything was perfect, you could totally make it to 150.
I think you also though just need basically fortunate
You
genetics
do need good genes.
because I think that's what those people who live despite their lifestyle. I think that that's what they have. They just have the right genes.
Yeah, like
You know,
some people are simply going to stick around. Like my one biology professor was telling a story about her like 100 and something year old, like either grandma or great grandma, who used to like walk to the end of the driveway with her oxygen tank to smoke a cigarette. And like she was like it didn't matter that like she had smoked cigarettes her entire life. She was just like in her genetic code, she was just gonna stick around.
Oh, my great grandfather, my on my dad's side, my abuelito, he was one of those people. I don't remember if he smoked, but he may have. But you know, Hispanics we eat a lot of red meat. He went into a coma when he was 99. Um, Came out of it for his 100th birthday,
Bruh.
and then passed away 2 weeks later. He
oh,
came out of his coma at 99 years old. That's like insane.
He said,
Like
I'm
our
going on my
family,
terms, no one else's.
yeah, yeah. He was awake to celebrate his 100th birthday.
nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty baller, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I
Um,
just keep
Roll
coming
with
the
back
people
to
on my dad's
this.
side of the family tend to live like well into their 90s at least.
So I guess in
And
our kind of
same for my
like
mom.
quote unquote mental experiment here, you would have to like remove or assume perfect genetics, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, just hypothetical perfect environment. So like perfect genes, perfect environment, perfect diet, exercise. I'm gonna say 150 easily.
Mm.
It's just my red hot take. Again, not a scientist.
It'll be rare though because the number of people who actually put in that amount of effort,
This
like
is
into
true.
being healthy and all that,
This is very
Yeah.
and
true.
then the odds of that coinciding with good genes, it's not going to be.
I like to think I
Chris
do.
Traeger, man.
I like
It's gonna be
to.
Chris Traeger.
I like to think I do a really good, pretty good job of trying to be as healthy as I can, but not at the detriment of like never enjoying like you know my mom's homemade cookies. Cause is life really worth it if I never have those small little pleasures of like you know a fresh baked
Well,
pie? I think not.
yeah, that's the other thing. If I ate perfectly, like
I'd be miserable.
like could I live maybe 7 or 10 years longer? Probably. But but
I'd have way less fun.
why?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like I would just be miserable for longer.
Yeah, exactly. So again, maybe it wouldn't even be that much fun. I
Yeah.
think it is theoretically possible. Probably wouldn't enjoy it.
when I eat garbage, I'm like, it's okay. I'm paying for this with the last like 5 years of my life being shaved off. Like I've paid for it in advance.
Yeah,
And also,
like I
like,
have
again,
accepted.
like if I'm 96, if I'm like, you know, genetically coded to live to like 96 or whatever, and I'm shaving a little off of that by enjoying myself now, whatever, man. I'm just gonna be sitting in a rocking chair at 96. I might as
Yeah,
well like order a second cocktail now.
yeah.
I was sitting in a rocking chair an hour ago.
Sorry.
But it
Here's
is
the
a very
thing.
modern IKEA rocking chair.
Okay.
It's very fancy.
I do think that, and it's like, well, if I'm not doing anything when I'm old, like what's the point of sticking around anyways, and why not just enjoy things now? But then I think of like Jimmy Carter, like Mans is in his 90s and still building homes. That just makes me embarrassed for my future self because I know I'm likely not going to be doing that. Because one, I'm not building people's homes now, but also just like it's probably yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, there are, not to, you know,
Do
wish
you,
my life away, there are things about being, about, like, that part of your life that do sound, about, like, being old that do sound kind of nice. Like, I don't know,
I'm sorry,
just
just
grandma things.
speaking of like being old. Do you guys remember when death panels were a thing in America? And that was like the big scare around Obamacare was that they were gonna like decide like what old people were worth keeping alive. And it was like the whole 2011 Sarah Palin like they were gonna oh my God, that was literally so funny. Like
As if that isn't going, as if, like, the same
as
thing
if
isn't going
not
on.
10 years after that, the lieutenant governor of Texas was like, kill the old people for COVID.
Yeah.
Or for the economy.
Yeah.
Like he literally said they'll happily die to save the economy.
Disgusting.
I was like, I don't know one old person who's like, let's go.
It's
I also
ridiculous.
don't know that many old people.
I do. Thanks, work. Although it was really funny when I was riding up to our um, construction site with one of the other guys on the maintenance crew in like one of the work trucks, and he was like, "Oh yeah, like one of my like my youngest daughter is like your age. My oldest is like 36 or something." I was like, "Oh, my dad just turned 70." He's like, "I am 58." So that's always fun. I am a
I know a
child.
lot of people though who like don't drink water, who like won't even look at a vegetable.
Okay,
And
well
those,
that makes me
That
feel a
kind
lot better about myself.
yeah.
yeah, like I know people
Sips
who will
water.
like yeah, who will like, go to a restaurant and order a cheeseburger and then take off the lettuce and tomato.
Okay, I'll take off the tomato.
But
That's
it's still just
so
like
extra.
the only thing on there that was a little
But redeemable in any way.
and like picks vegetables. Oh, they put vegetables in my pasta. It's like just eat them. Just you gotta acquire it.
I love a good chicken and broccoli alfredo.
Well, that's very fatty, the cheese.
And I mean, here's the thing, it is, but like you are still
You're not
technically
picking
getting
out the
something from
broccoli.
the vegetables. Like it's
Yeah.
marginally better if you don't pick out the vegetables. And I mean, like, it's alfredo. Does it really matter? Just eat the broccoli.
Yeah, yeah, they're covered in cheese sauce.
Yeah, who cares?
But the thing that makes me mad is those people will probably outlive me. The people that don't eat vegetables and don't drink water.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't understate the role that genetics plays because there are those people who are going to chain smoke their whole lives and never look at a plant and like live to be 90. And then there are going to be the people who are perfectly healthy, run every day or whatever, and eat really well and then have a heart attack at 42. Like it, it's
But
messed up
also,
that way. But
two slightly statistically less likely extremes. So, I feel like taking care, I mean, I'd like to think that taking care of yourself definitely comes into account.
I
Yeah,
mean, I would like to too, but it's also entirely possible I get hit by a car tomorrow morning on my run. Like,
This is
yeah. I
taking a
just get
fun turn.
I get frustrated sometimes because, I work out every day. I eat pretty healthy, lots of fruits and veggies and whole grains and all that stuff, and I work really hard at it. Uh, and I drink an insane amount of water. And then I have friends who, don't eat vegetables and don't drink water, and they have like no health problems whatsoever, whereas I take like, 11 pills a day for various medical issues. And it's like, it makes me so mad, especially when they brag about, like, oh yeah, no, I never eat that stuff. I'm just, stop doing that.
I feel as though at least some of those people, it is going to catch up to them sooner or later.
oh well, no, absolutely. Like, because there's so much that happens inside that you don't see.
Yeah.
I forget the name for the fat, but like the internal fat that like hugs your organs, that's so much more worse for you than whatever the other fat is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. This is gonna sound funny, but like I started drinking water just like more. I don't know. I feel like whenever I would eat a meal, I would just have something not water with it. And I've just started not getting other things and drinking water, and I feel better and like
I do love.
small
I mean, like
things.
now it's one of those things. Now it's like because I like pretty much just like only drink water and tea throughout the day. So like if I go to like a restaurant, maybe I'll get like a root beer.
Oh, I could never order water as my drink at a restaurant.
Yeah, no, I'm already at a restaurant paying for
Never
food.
do that.
Like,
Always
Like,
give me the Shirley Temple, please.
yeah, no, like I want my thing to be 100% high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, no. If I'm
But
at a
when I am
restaurant, I am
home,
doing things I do not do at home.
yeah.
Even if it's just going out for Five Guys, give me the strawberry Fanta.
Well, it's like, okay, my French fries are already 1,000 calories. Am I really gonna like draw the line at a lemonade?
Yeah, no.
No.
Give me the strawberry Fanta. I
Yeah.
drink like two of these every single day when I'm at home. So,
always drink water at restaurants just because sometimes certain kinds of food, I feel like having a soda or sweet drink kind of ruins it for me. The only
Sure.
exception being fast food. Like, I have to have
Hmm.
soda with fast food. That
Yeah.
I can imagine having water with like French fries.
yeah, no, that's just like, and that's like, again, just the whole notion of fast food. You're supposed to get a soda. You're supposed to
Yeah.
get a lemonade. That's just like I don't care if you have the option for water technically, but like culturally, that is how it works. That is what you are supposed to do.
This is America.
Yeah, this is America. You get a freaking soda with your fast food.
Yeah. I mean, but if I go to a sit down restaurant, I always order water. The exception being if I'm drinking booze. Like, if I'm going to a Mexican restaurant, margarita.
Margarita, baby.
Italian hot, glass of wine. So those would be the exceptions, but I don't order soda at restaurants, like sit down places.
So interesting.
Sit down places like if it's like a sometimes if it's like a nicer restaurant and I don't want like and I don't actually want like a cocktail, I'll get like a Shirley Temple because it's like a little
Classy.
a little fancier, and it doesn't feel as wrong as being like I have this nice dinner. Can I get a root beer, please? Like the Shirley Temple I feel like that's allowed.
Yeah.
Essentially, I feel like that's allowed, but I usually don't order water in restaurants. Although sometimes if they're like, "Do you want sparkling water?" I'll be like, "Oh hell yes, I want sparkling water."
I feel like we need to stop talking about food because I am hungry.
You know, I need to eat as well, and I already know what I'm
Okay.
eating, and it's not remotely healthy.
Oh no. Well, look at our next question.
I had egg whites with peppers this morning, and then I had a protein shake, and that's all I've eaten today. So, because protein shakes sometimes upset my stomach. Oh, good. Yeah, the next question.
Pizza.
Oops.
Yes.
You also provided this one.
This is going to be one of those things that I have a strong opinion about, strongish, and probably nobody's going to agree with me, but I feel very passionately about it. The question being, should pizza slices be triangles or squares?
Well, if your opinion is the one that goes against the grain, I'm guessing you are pro square.
Interesting.
See, Here's the thing. Square cheese pizza is youth group pizza.
Yeah.
Like, as somebody who came up through like religion and just a church,
Yeah, no, it's youth group
that
pizza.
is youth group pizza.
But also, here's my thing. There are things I like about both, honestly. I love like with the like circle pizza with triangle slices. Like especially like a really nice like really thin crust pizza and like the biting off the point is just so satisfying to me. I absolutely love that. However, I love a good corner piece on a square pizza. I love the corner piece.
But you can't
Yeah.
fold. You
I don't
can't
fold my
fold square
pizza
pizza.
anyway.
But it doesn't fold naturally. Like the triangle is perfectly symmetrical and comes together with a corner square piece.
It doesn't matter. I
It
don't fold my
doesn't.
pizza anyway.
There's only New York City style pizza that folds. Like the rest of the country does not fold their pizza.
I feel like the country folds its pizza.
I've literally never done that in my
I've
life.
never folded my pizza in my
And
entire
I've
life.
never seen anyone do it.
Oh my God, wait, have you guys seen the video of that person reacting to the person reacting to the Chicago style
It's
pizza?
underneath the sauce.
Yeah. He's like, "Where's the cheese?" It's under the
It's under the
sauce.
sauce. I'm Italian and this is hurting me. It's from Chicago. I will link that
Yeah.
and with this episode as well.
That video makes me laugh every time.
I do, yeah, it is funny. I do love it.
Yeah, I mean, I will. Pizza's pizza. I will eat
Yeah, no,
pizza.
I'm not. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not. If I'm being
100%.
given pizza, I am not complaining.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, and I've had people agree with me on this, so I know I'm not crazy. If you go to some sort of function where they've ordered just like giant sheets of pizza and square cut pizza, and then it's just been sitting out for like a couple of hours, for some reason that is like peak pizza.
No,
Oh no, it's amazing. I
no,
love me some like cheap pizza that's been sitting out for a couple of hours from Pizza Place.
we're not friends anymore.
It's so good.
No,
I've had
That
other
I
people
get.
agree on this.
absolutely
That
not.
I don't think I'm there in that I can like agree 100%, but I get it enough.
Something special about it.
There is. It's almost like I don't know. It, it's like you are there at this event and that pizza went through the event with you. And now
That's so
I'm
philosophical.
thinking specifically, like my most recent experience with this is our local library has like cool events, and they had a Game of Thrones party like I don't know 4 years ago or something that I went to, and they had these giant boxes of pizza, and it was cold and it had just been sitting there for a couple of hours, and that pizza has like never tasted so good in my life. I swear.
the best old pizza I ever had. I went I was in college and I had gotten pizza with some friends. It was like the last day of our like some club civic action group and we got pizza and then we went out that night and we went out and we went bar hopping and partied and it was a lot of fun and this was all pre-COVID of
And then you
course
went
and
back, and
then
there was the pizza.
well and then we went back and we knocked out and like but then that morning um I took some pizza home, and on my drive home, I was eating it. That hit really hard. That pizza smacked so hard.
Okay, I
Like,
gotta say, there is
even
something
though it was out
about.
all night, it was out all night. Like,
Yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
say, there is something absolutely wonderful about just like god awful food when you're wasted.
yeah.
Like I mean, I think this is kind of like a universal thing, like the any kind of like U-Hots type thing, like the one shitty restaurant that's open at 3 a.m. when like everyone's leaving like the clubs or the frats or whatever,
Hmm.
and
Waffle
like
House.
it's terrible. Like if you eat it sober, it does not taste good. It is not good food.
Or if you want to eat something that's good both while you're drunk and not drunk, that's open late, DP Do's calzones. They're open until like 3 in the morning.
I
Those are
love DP
extremely
Dough
good.
so much. I did not know they were a chain.
Oh yeah, they have one by my campus at Ohio State. There's one
Okay.
for me here.
I
We've gotten drunk
I
calzones.
only
It's
know
been
the
great.
one. I only know the one in Albany on Lark Street that my friends and I would always order from at like 2 in the morning.
Hell yeah,
And
dude.
like that, and but no, you're absolutely right. That food is good, like just on its own, independent of like your own mental state.
The mac and cheese calzone. Ugh.
I got an email from Grubhub, like, year in review kind of thing. And apparently that was the place I ordered from the most in the past year.
That doesn't shock me. That does not shock me at all.
Surprises me because the Chinese place a mile from me. I feel like I go there all the time. And apparently I went to DPW more. I love DPW. But anyway,
Oh,
pizza. Um,
I do miss Empire Walk in Del Mar. That place is really good. Thinking about Chinese food.
That's another food that like is absolutely incredible when you're drunk and also fantastic when you're sober.
yeah, it's good anytime. It's amazing.
Again, and like cuz like sometimes like the your local Chinese place is open until like a ridiculous hour.
Same
Just
with
like
Denny's,
Denny's
especially
is only
because
good drunk.
I disagree.
I mean like the pancakes you can't screw up a pancake, but like
Also disagree.
okay, here's the thing. The
Somebody who
food
has
may be
tried to make
good whether
pancakes
you're
and
drunk.
screwed
The
them
food
up.
may be good whether you're drunk or sober. The vibe of a Denny's only good drunk.
Waffle House.
I've never set foot in a Waffle House, and at this point,
Okay,
I'm afraid to.
actually, I actually do like the vibe at a Denny's, but I have also never been. Oh, okay. So, funny story about Waffle House. My family and I, years ago when I was a kid, were driving to Florida and from New York, and we were driving all night. So,
Ew.
like, my parents were switching on and off. And my dad, who is Colombian and from Colombia, did not really drink coffee. And we stopped at a Waffle House at 3 in the morning, and he asked them for decaf coffee. Or no, no, he didn't drink coffee, he didn't do caffeine. And they were like, it's 3 in the morning. We don't have any decaf coffee because all of our clientele are either truckers or wasted. And he just kind of got like not laughed at, but kind of laughed out of the Waffle House. They were like,
Oh my
we don't
god.
have decaf coffee at 3 in the morning at this pit stop or rest stop or whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean, no, that does track.
Yeah. And then he came back, and of course we all laughed at him. We're like, you tried to order decaf coffee. So
That is pretty funny. Yeah, no, I think the vibe of a Denny's is ideal when drunk.
Never been to one
I
Waffle.
have done a lot of work at Denny's. Like I'll bring my computer and legal pad and like set up shop.
I've never done anything like that in my life.
Oh, not Denny's. Many a Panera Bread. I've done that. Starbucks, various local coffee houses.
I never really got into Panera. Like it's good and I've enjoyed it when I go, but like it was
I
never really my
enjoy I
thing.
enjoy the Panera mac and cheese from time to time. They also have a really good it's like a salad with dried apple slices and chicken. It's delicious.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
They have good breakfast, actually.
Oh my god! One time, my friend, this was at a high school. This was after a high school graduation party. Our friend, for her graduation party, rented a bounce house because she was like, "It's my graduation party. We can do what we want." And the company that was like supposed to take the bounce house like left it for an extra day for whatever reason. So, me and three other girls slept in the bounce house overnight.
Yeah, you got to get a sleeping bag and get up in
We
there.
slept in the and it was delightful. It was really comfy. I'm not gonna lie. But we slept in the bounce house, and then we woke up at 6 a.m. to the bounce house deflating around us because it had been running for over 48 hours, and the safety timer went off. And then we went to Panera for breakfast, and it was really nice.
You know who has vegan French toast sticks?
Do tell.
Burger King. The
Of
last
all
place you'd think to look.
places,
Yeah, I know. I don't think they make them vegan. I think like accidentally vegan, but like I can eat the French toast sticks from Burger King, and I have, and they are actually pretty good.
I don't think I've consumed a French toast stick since grade school.
Oh, I don't think I have either until I found out they have them at Burger King.
I haven't in like 4 months. I get the fancy ones though, and I have a bourbon barrel aged maple syrup that I dip them
Define
in.
fancy
I had
ones.
that. I had
Not like Eggo or whatever. They're
Oh yeah.
nice. I don't know.
Maple syrup from bourbon barrels hits so hard and it's so good.
Okay, since we're just talking about food now,
Dang it! I told you I'm hungry. Oh, but I
people
did have something specific to say about pizza, but
finish that thought because this could lead us down a separate rabbit hole.
I mean, so part of the reason why I have such a strong feeling about square pizza is because that's the kind of pizza that I grew up on. Where I'm from, there's actually a style of pizza called Ohio Valley pizza, and it is all it's all cooked on big trays, so cut into squares from these big trays, and it's really crispy on the bottom, which is delightful. You bite into it and it crunches. And when you put it in the oven, you put on the sauce and just a little bit of cheese. And then when it comes out of the oven, they take a big handful of cheese and drop it on top. And you're supposed to eat it
Is
right
it
away.
like this?
Yeah.
I just
Interesting.
wanted to look it up.
So you get both the hot melty cheese, but also like the cold cheese at the same time, and it's really cheesy. And that's why it's always sold individually by the slice because it's meant to be eaten immediately. So you go to the pizza shop, you order, I want 2 slices with mushrooms or something like that. And so then they'll pull the tray out of the oven, they'll toss on your mushrooms, put it back in to heat up, pull it back out, handful of mozzarella cheese, and you eat it.
There is nothing that hits harder than when you come home drunk at 3 a.m. and stumble to the fridge and start just eating shredded cheese out of the bag.
I knew that's exactly what you were going to say.
It's so good.
But it's just a very special kind of pizza, and that was like, aside from chains like Pizza Hut, that was the only kind of pizza that I had growing up. And I just thought that that was normal, that you could go anywhere and just get square cut pizza by the slice, and it would be crunchy and cheesy. And then when I first moved away from my hometown and realized that that was not true, I was very, very sad.
That's tragic.
And I still, when I go home to visit like my family and stuff, I try to make sure I get it at least once while I'm there.
Beautiful.
Because it's just, yeah, there's nothing else like it.
Yeah, no,
And
like
for me,
that's
what pizza is.
the fact that I grew up in New York. Like people are always like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, New York, like New York style pizza." Like there really isn't a twist on it because that
No,
seems to
New
have
York
like
style pizza
set the
is
standard.
a giant triangle on 2 paper plates
Correct.
that are mostly grease and very little integrity.
Yep, absolutely.
It's good stuff.
Although I do love Chicago style pizza very much.
Except it has no cheese.
Yeah, no
It's
cheese.
under the sauce.
Some of the sauce.
Where's the cheese? It's under the
It's
sauce.
backwards. Leave it alone.
Okay, but the
You're right.
thing I was gonna say, because you guys were talking about the bourbon maple syrup, which like delicious, but
Yep.
every single person in my family except me prefers like the Mrs. Butterworths to real maple syrup, and I cannot stand it. It drives me insane.
You know, I recently tried like one of the fake maple syrups
It's
and literally could not.
Simple, and I mean, here's the thing: I
Have
liked
it.
it as a little kid because like,
Yeah.
duh,
It
sugar.
was sugar.
But like, it is simple. Like as an adult with like any sort of refined, like quote unquote refined past childhood tastes, it is simply bad.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear her meowing repeatedly?
No, actually.
No.
I told her she's late. We're done with the cat lip segment.
Oh, rude. Which one? Who we got here?
Small Void.
Small void. Boo.
She is afraid to jump up on my lap because she jumped up yesterday when I wasn't looking and startled me. And so, like, I jumped and she scratched my lap, like, fleeing.
Oh
And so she keeps jumping up like this, like a dog on her hind legs.
no.
Because she's like,
Baby.
oh, there she is.
Hello.
Hello.
You've been making such frequent appearances. Thank you.
I don't know if it's because it's gotten colder, but I cannot keep her off of me most of the time.
Boo.
I keep telling her I'm not a cat bed, and she does not believe me. I told her my sole function in life is not to serve as her mattress.
Well, she doesn't know that, and she doesn't need to.
And it's very sad if I'm sitting on the couch and I'm not laying down so she can't lay on my chest, she'll start just pawing at me.
It's things like this that make me want to get a cat.
Pathetic. You can't tell if she has lips. It's all just
No, hello, Missy. Hello, Missy. Um, but yeah, like I don't understand how people live like that.
no. Well, I mean, to be fair, I grew up on stuff like that, and I don't know when I first had real maple syrup. Maybe I had it here and there as a kid, but we only ever had Mrs. Butterworth's.
Yeah, pretty much when I was a kid. I think like maybe we used to go to Vermont
We did too.
for like to get like
Maple
to
syrup festivals.
oh not quite that, but like to get our
Oh,
like to get our Christmas tree. Like it was part of a
I got
trip.
really excited for a second.
No, I'm sorry. It was like part like a thing we would do. We would like go stay in this cute little like hotel and we would go like pick up our tree and all this fun stuff. But like I'm pretty sure that's where I wound up trying it and I like have preferred it ever since.
Yeah.
Wait, quick thing. Speaking of Vermont, guess who's going to New England this month?
Easy you.
As in me. I'm very excited. But
Hell
yes,
yeah.
our family did go to Vermont for the maple syrup festivals, and
That
they were
sounds
amazing.
delightful. Oh my god.
Oh, and you would like watch them make it, and it would be like freezing and frigid, and like it's very hot inside, and the whole place, I would say reeks, but you think of reek as like a bad thing, but just like
It's
is
everywhere.
so yeah, like that's all. Oh my God, it is
That
so well,
sounds
and you get closer because as you're driving by all the trees, you see they all have like the little things tapped into them, and like that's how you know.
that's wonderful. I
Oh,
love
very
everything about that
charming.
so much.
Yeah.
Wow, that's on my bucket list now.
Oh, you definitely need to go.
Hell yeah.
A good specific food festival, like a whole festival that's about one thing.
Cinnamon Festival.
Impressive.
There's about an hour from where I live. There's an annual grape festival there where you can get like literally anything made out of grapes or grape flavored. Um, last they haven't had it. Well, no, they did have it last year. I don't know, pandemic stuff. Anyway, the last time I went, I had like grape pie and a grape cookie and some grape ice cream. There were a bunch of grape bread, which I didn't know was a thing.
Interesting.
But also, of course, there was wine tasting and
Of
stuff. So
course.
Yeah.
yeah, but it was like everything grape, and I was like, yes. What's this other thing that has grape? I will eat that.
Wonderful. Love it.
And I don't get tired of it. I'm just like, no, new ways to experience grapes. I enjoy grapes.
Sounds like a fun time.
Yeah,
I really haven't eaten many grapes since getting Echo, but I do like them a lot.
Yeah,
I'm a
that's
big fan. They might be.
we usually have a couple bunches in our fridge, like
Yeah.
especially in summer.
They might be my favorite fruit. I don't know.
I choked on a grape when I was like 2
Bruh.
or 4, and my uncle did like the Heimlich thingy.
Damn.
Jeez.
Yeah.
My favorite fruit is kiwi.
Ooh, I love a good kiwi.
I feel
I
like
do too.
it has a super similar taste to a strawberry. You just get more of it at once.
Oh, don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't taste similar to me at all.
And they got the same kind of like tart thing going on.
That makes me think of what we talked about last week of like not knowing if people experience colors in the same way.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my sense of taste is
Yeah.
just fucked up. It could very
like
well be.
maybe
Maybe I just
somehow
don't know.
it tastes different to you than taste does.
I feel
Yeah, it has
that's
a very specific texture too. I feel like,
yeah.
and I hate having to get all the skin off of it. It feels like too much work.
Yeah, that is a pain.
I don't
That's
mind
why I
it.
love grapes. You just rinse those suckers off and you eat them.
It's
You
another
don't
thing
have to cut
I
anything off,
enjoy
right?
about that's a thing I enjoy about strawberries. You rinse them off. You have a built-in handle. Job done.
But if you want to have them in something, you have to cut them up. Like I put them in yogurt.
That's kind of a pain, but you know,
Whatever.
life is full of small concessions.
Well, I put a lot of berries in my yogurt. It's like handful of blueberries, rinse.
Ooh, I love good raspberry.
I do that with my cereal. I just throw all my fruit in my cereal.
Red
It
currants
makes,
in the fridge.
it makes me feel better. Wait, what do you have in the fridge?
Red currants?
I don't think I
Never
have
bought them in my
ever.
life,
Interesting.
but they looked really good.
I don't think I have ever eaten any form of currant outside of like jam.
They're very tart.
Beautiful.
It's delightful. They're just like tiny, tiny little things. They look like grapes except miniature and red.
Interesting.
I keep forgetting they're in there, which is why I got so excited. was like, oh yeah, I bought those currants.
Well, there you go. Snickety snacks for later.
I've had currant flavored things. I had no idea what they look like. I'm surprised they're that tiny. It's sort of like cranberries in a way,
Hmm.
but smaller. Flavor wise, though, that's like tart.
I do love a good sour fruit. Anyway,
Yeah.
would we like to do our last question and then wrap it up for tonight? Because I think we're
And eat food.
yeah, and then actually
Yeah,
eat food
like my stomach is audibly
as
growling
we're
at
all
me.
clearly hungry. Um,
Oh,
what is the cat doing?
Says
poor
exited
thing.
the chat.
I was
What?
what who did what?
Um, I just got this thing that I take the plastic off of, and apparently this is sticky and it stuck to Nyx.
Huh.
she was, and she was walking trying to like get it off.
Oh no, bebe.
She got all the way to the next room, into my bedroom.
Oh no. Okay, so here's a question that I came across on Reddit. If we perforated paper towels at an angle, would they finally tear correctly instead of leaving that one awful scrap at the bottom? And this is like
No.
when you have your standing paper towel roll in a kitchen.
No.
I think they would.
I'm convinced that's not the case because it has nothing to do with the angle as the fact it has to do with the fact that it's a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is that like when you tear it, it doesn't tear at an angle. You tear it and straight, and then you get that one little like nub at the end.
I think it would. I don't know, man. Maybe this is just like maybe I'm just an idiot. I really think if we like perforated paper towels diagonally, it wouldn't leave the little scrap anymore.
I feel like that would almost be harder. Like it doesn't. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would have to be a particularly like extreme
Sure,
angle.
no,
You just tilt it a
yeah.
little. I really think it would work. I don't know. Someone make them. Tell me if I'm right.
I mean, it would be interesting for sure.
I like the first comment under it that says, "I demand this question be answered by big paper towel." Capital big paper towel.
It's a good question to demand that they answer.
Yeah, I don't think it would make a difference. But I also like I'm cautious about the way I rip my paper towel. I have a method, so I generally don't have that scrap.
Oh, I don't have time for that.
I also use the Viva towels, so they're like cloth-like, so they tear less easily.
Yeah, we just get the generic at my house.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
I really do. And I don't know, like, I just have this conviction that it would work. I might be very wrong, but I'm gonna say...
Bridget is a true believer.
I am a true believer. Yes. Yes, I am.
Find a way to engineer it.
Hmm?
Try to engineer it. Like, they have, like, the roller tools that put perforations in things.
Oh,
Next
yeah,
up
maybe I
on
could find
Shark
something like
Tank,
that at
an
work.
inventor who's found an easier way to tear paper towels. I mean, the next episode. And then you're gonna tear a regular one, and you're gonna be like, there has to be a better way.
And that's how I'll make my millions.
And then Kevin O'Leary would be like, what would keep some other company from doing this?
But also logistically, if you angle the first one this way, the next one would have to be angled like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not seeing
like
a
they would all
problem
have
with
to be
it. They would all be
You would
angled.
end up with a weird triangle at the end, I guess.
No, not necessarily. You would just start rolling from the one corner.
Well, they'd have to cut that off at some point, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they would all just be
That
tilted.
would, and then you would have that weird triangle, like the paper towel crust, like at the very.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't have to tear, so it's fine. It would just come off of the little cardboard tube.
Oh my God! And then if you have the triangle, you put it under your pizza.
Oh my God, we are innovators.
Yo, is this what it feels like to be Benjamin Franklin?
I don't know. I feel like paper towels under pizza might not be the best idea because it might stick because of the moisture. Like all the microwavable burritos I've ever had, they're like, wrap it in a paper towel and put it in the microwave. I'm like, no, I'm not following that. I'm not eating
No,
paper.
but
I don't really have that
I've
problem with
done
my
that before
microwavable
and it
breakfast
works out
sandwiches.
fine.
You
Because
eat them.
and the other thing is like especially if you dampen paper towel beforehand. Like I was making fajitas and I dampened my paper towel, put it on the tortillas and it didn't really it just came right off. Like at one point stuck a little bit and then that just peeled off as well.
You just reminded me of something so random because you said dampened paper towel. When my first job, I worked in a concession stand when I was like, I think like 14 or 15, like the earliest you are able to get your like whatever they call like your working papers. I worked in a concession stand for our like local little league, and we had like those like microwavable like super pretzels that like you like get them like you sprinkle a little water on it to make the salt stick, you put the salt on, put it in the microwave, all that fun stuff. This one guy, this guy who I like went to grade school and high school with, he was working there too, and he had his method for making paper towels is that he would take his phone, he would put on Ave Maria. He would like fold a paper towel into like this long thin strip and dip it into a cup of water and like brush it onto the pretzel just like very artistically, and then sprinkle the salt on and like put it in the microwave and all that stuff. God, it was just so funny and like so dumb.
Now I'm thinking about Josh Lyman because I will ever forever associate the Ave Maria with Josh Lyman.
I was just watching West Wing last night.
I love that. Oh my God, wait, Brooks, did you see the video that I sent the group chat on Instagram of that guy sliding down the ice with the sunglasses?
Oh my god, I cannot keep up with you both, and like I
That's
spend
because we
maybe
have
like 20th of the time on social media that you guys do. I'd
that's
like
because we
saving
have
up for days and then
jobs that like where there's downtime you scroll.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't have that.
Exactly.
Downtime does not exist for me. So
Good.
no, I haven't seen it yet. Was the point?
Okay. Okay.
I'm behind. I gotta catch up.
Yeah.
I usually wait. I'm like, oh, I have like 5 minutes. Let me sit down and catch up with all the things.
Gotta keep
And then
up with the
sometimes,
meme. Gotta keep up with the meme lords.
yeah,
You can
well,
always tell when I've gotten home and I'm relaxing because I send like 15 things and then I don't do anything with the group chat for the rest of the day.
You can literally always tell when I'm bored at work because I
uh-huh.
spam our
Mhm.
meme chats across multiple platforms.
I've actually had that thought where I was like, my phone's vibrating and looking at it. I'm like, oh, Bridget must be bored.
Wait, okay, but now I have to know which episodes of watching.
Last night,
Yeah.
I was back in season one.
Okay.
Which episode was it? Like I just watched it. Actually no, a couple of them. But I was the last one I watched was the one where Sam was going to go to the opera with Toby's daughter.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think that's
Wait,
pretty early
wait,
on.
what? No, was it Toby's daughter or Leo's daughter? Toby doesn't have kids.
Oh
It
yeah,
was
sorry.
Leo,
Yes.
right? Yeah. And then he's like, I have to be really nice because like the boss's daughter's coming in, and she's like, that's me. And oh, is that the one where he has to give the kids the tour and he's just like making shit up
No,
as he goes?
that's like the first episode.
Oh, is it? Okay. I don't know.
Or maybe that's either like the first or second episode. No, this
Yeah.
was where Leo had couldn't use his opera ticket, so he gave it to Mallory, and then
Oh yeah,
she
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sam,
And
and so Leo
oh,
made write a birthday message so he could go.
yes, to like some random deputy secretary, and he's like, and then at the end, like Sam and Toby are just like, no, like we have to get this right, and like really laboring over it.
And the president gets in on it.
Yeah,
And
That's
this
so
is
really
the
funny.
good.
West Wing corner.
Hmm.
All right, well,
2 weeks left.
thank you for fighting with us, friends. That'll be my thing I say.
The sign off.
Okay.
Beautiful. We have a sign off now. Thank you for fighting with us, friends. We appreciate each and every single one of you, and we will see you again next week. Adios.
Bye, everybody.
I'm gonna say awkwardly bye.
This week's episode of the Fighting with Friends podcast was hosted by Bridget Kelly, Zach Calderon, and Dr. Sarah Brookes. You can find other episodes of the podcast on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, or your other favorite listening platform. Follow us on Twitter at BridgetKelly98, at Zach Calderon, and at AndSarahSaid. Rate and review us on your podcatcher of choice. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, and join our Discord community using the links in the description. You can also help support us via the Acast supporter feature, or consider donating to our Patreon. Thanks for listening!